I'm here today to tell you about freedom, sometimes called Golden Eagle, and it's about the very catchy theme of psychological boundaries. I've tried to think of another way to describe the theme and I can't, so that's what it is currently, and it has been that way for about 6 months. It's a heavy title and it's a heavy theme because it's a heavy theme. It's a heavy title because it's a heavy theme. And it's probably, while I think all of the songs on this debut album that I'm going to release on the 7th of July this year at 7 Arts in Leeds. So that's 777. It'll probably be at 7 o'clock, so just to keep everyone in the loop of the 7. So this song is quite heavy, and so to compensate for the heavy theme, the way that I tackled that was to write very almost like a musical box type melody that's very simple, and the words are very simple. They rhyme. It's like fly, sky, cry, high. Those songs are at the end of the lines in each of the songs, so it can be seen as quite simple, but actually it's probably the heaviest of all my songs. And the reason being is because it's very heady. It lacks that creative energy. It lacks the heart. It lacks the beauty of the physical realm. And it was inspired by a trip to Berlin. So I went to visit my friend in Berlin, and while I was there, she suggested we went to see the Checkpoint Charlie Museum. And I didn't know anything about it. And I remember the Berlin Wall going down when I was young. I think I was about 8. And I remember that because there was so much energy around it at that time. It was impossible not to remember it, but I didn't fully understand it. And I think we do hear about a lot of difficulties all over the world constantly, and it kind of the intensity of any one experience sort of gets lost. But while I was in Berlin, I certainly felt that more than I'd ever felt it before, particularly going into that museum. And then I remember feeling quite shocked when I came out. I mean, my friend didn't say anything to each other. We were just kind of definitely in a state of shock. And it sort of occurred to me that anyone who was my age, who was a Berliner, who had grown up in Berlin, would have experienced that wall going up, or rather being up if they were my age. And I think within my lifetime, it suddenly felt like it could happen at any point, and that it was more of a pressing issue. And as I say, I know terrible stuff in terms of isolation is going on constantly around the globe. So it really hit home after that, and I remember thinking that I really had a duty, especially to the people of Berlin, to appreciate my freedom and my physical freedom. What I realised when I got back home, and how quickly I slipped back into my negative mental and emotional cycles, was that I did stop appreciating my freedom, and that's because I've got these psychological boundaries in place that mean that I can't feel absolutely free. And I think there's an element of, I think certainly less I experience this now, but I used to get really excited and then really low, kind of a slight mania down to depression, sort of pendulum swing. I'm much more. And I think this is part of the learning to control those psychological boundaries, is to sort of remain more in the middle, and that's probably where the freedom lies. But I'm still trying to work it out. But certainly I think there's this element of, okay, I get upset, okay, I get happy, but at least I'm free to choose. It's all about freedom of choice and appreciating that.